This is the shareable package exercise in Java. I have the project open here in Visual Studio Code. This is a Gradle project. It takes a couple of minutes to load up once it gets started. I've already got that running here. So we'll start off with the test. So we just need to reverse a string inside our function. So I'll go ahead and call the test real fast, make sure we get our failure. And we do. Now that we've got that, let's take a look. Effectively, what we're doing is we're seeing the reverse method is coming back null. Null does not equal testing, which makes sense. So let's go to the definition on reverse, and we'll see that sure enough, it is returning null. So let's fix this really fast. We need to reverse the string. So a few different ways to do this in Java. I'm going to do this through StringBuilder. So we'll create a new StringBuilder, give it the text, reverse it, and call it to string, rerun our test, and we're passing. So that takes care of the test side of this. Going back to the README, that's basically objective 1. Objective 2, we want to open up another instance of Visual Studio Code, and with that, we are going to basically consume the jar file. Now, Visual Studio Code has been acting a little weird lately with Maven. We're going to try this, and if it doesn't work, I'm going to use a command line to create the new project. So let's go ahead and try this out and see if we can get this working. So we're going to start off. The first thing I need to do is build this Gradle project. So I'll open up the files again, and I'm going to move my face, go down to the Java projects, and right-click. I'm going to say Gradle, run Gradle tasks, and down below we are going to, let's see where it's build. Now that that's done, I should see under lib, there's a build folder and a libs folder, and then there's lib.jar. This is my jar file that I need to import. So I'm going to reveal this in File Explorer. We're going to copy this file in just a minute, so I'll come back to that in a moment. Now I'm going to open up a new instance of Visual Studio Code. Let's go and increase the size here. So I'm going to open up a command up at the top, Maven new project. So Control-Shift-P or the greater than sign will give you your commands. We'll do Maven new project. I'll do quick start 1.4. Let's call it com.lucentory.consumer lib. We're going to consume the lib file. So this is the consumer of the lib, the library. Well, let's call it lib consumer to make it a little easier to read. Same name, and then in paths, we're going to go into Java source. We'll do it right next to the mirror project. Let this run. Okay, so I am getting the error that I was running into before. So let me copy this command. You can do this on your own if you're running into the same issue. Hopefully Microsoft or somebody fixes it fairly quickly. Let's open up a new terminal command. We're going to cd into our folder where we were. White belt exercises, Java, source. Make sure I'm in the right place, and I am. All right, so let me paste this in. All right, so default on the snapshot version number, default on yes. We have it open. Let's go into the consumer, and we will code from here, so code dot. We'll open up a new instance of Visual Studio Code. All right, so we are Java activating. We're likely going to run into a version problem here in a minute. And there is the version problem. So it says 1.7. I have 23 installed. So let me go ahead and open this up. So we'll change each of these values to 23. Save. It asks if we want to synchronize the class path. Always say yes. All right, we've got our project set up. Now I need to copy that lib.jar folder or file over. So I'm going to create a new folder here. I'm going to call it libs to be where we're going to import. This is where we're going to copy. So I'm going to navigate back here. I'm going to copy lib.jar, paste it right in. And no, I don't need to open it. Now I've got that. What I need to do now is I need to add a dependency to that lib.jar file. So let's see what's going on here. If I go into let's give a little more room. If I go into the main application here and I say var mirror equals new mirror. There's nothing there. I can't find it, so it doesn't know what that looks like. So we're going to add a dependency to that file. To do that, inside the pom.xml, you can see the dependencies note here. I'm going to create a new dependency element, and I'm going to need the group ID. This will be com.lucentory. I'm going to need the artifact ID. Let's just call this lib. That's the name of the file. It'll need a version number, which right now is just 1.0. That's the default. We're going to need to specify a scope, which right now will just be system. This will be the whole system, so tests and main production code. And then finally, we're going to specify the system path. We're going to use a variable here to specify the system path. So we'll do curly brace project.base.dir. So that's the base directory for the project. And then I'm going to go into the libs file or the libs folder and find the lib.jar file. So that's the relative path from the project's base directory. Yes, we want to synchronize. Now let's head back in and let's see if we've got this now. Sure enough, it's able to find mirror. So let's tab over, it's going to pull in our import statement. Now that we have that, let's reverse some text. Hello world. And let's print it out to the screen. Let's see if this runs. There it is in reverse. That concludes the shareable package exercise in Java.